Hello everyone and welcome to the pre-season of Season 3 of our F1 22 Driver Career Mode here. At the moment for Williams, we're at the contract renewal stage heading into Season 3 and we're going to see where that takes us. Season 3 was a pretty good season for us. We finished 10th in the drivers' standings. We got Williams to be up in P6, and I am proud to say that heading into Season 3 we have been promoted into the main seat for Season 3 at Mercedes. First two seasons of the career mode, we've proven to the team that we are ready for a top spot, and as well as the tension between Hamilton and Russell all throughout last season, they've decided to make a little bit of a change there, and this is what we've been working towards for pretty much the entire two first seasons of the career. Now heading into the calendar for Season 3, we'll be starting at our home Grand Prix at Albert Park in Australia, then heading to China for round 2, then moving over to Canada for round 3 before Mexico and Brazil for the last two rounds of the first half of the season, then moving to Silverstone for the first time in this career for round 6 before heading back to Monza for round 7, then Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi round out the season there. And yeah, it looks like a pretty interesting calendar, different to what we've seen before with Bahrain at the end of the season. Australia finally being the season opener once again. Should make for an interesting calendar. Now, heading over to what everyone's waiting for, the driver transfers for Season 3. And there have been some massive changes following Vettel's retirement, my move to Mercedes, and just some general other driver transfers, which have caused an insane, silly season. So let's get into it. And we'll start with ourselves at Mercedes. Is myself and George Russell that has been retained at the top team. The Mercedes and Hamilton deciding to mutually split ways after Hamilton's pretty poor performances in the first two seasons of this career mode, which is why we were able to get the promotion up to the top team, and this will be our first assault at an actual world championship for the drivers and constructors, which I'm very much looking forward to for Season 3. Now, where may Hamilton have gone, you ask? Well, he has returned to McLaren. It will be Norris and Hamilton making up the lineup there for that team, which is a very exciting prospect with how McLaren were performing all season last time out. Norris was doing very well. They've decided to get rid of Ricciardo as Norris was just absolutely destroying him all season, and a lineup between Norris and Hamilton could be very, very dangerous heading into Season 3, and it is going to be very exciting to see how those guys go. They've also changed the livery up a little bit heading into this one, and yeah, these guys are going to be ones to watch for sure. And this leads us into probably the biggest story of the pre-season. Ford have come into Formula 1. They've bought out AlphaTauri after their performance was just sort of starting to dwindle towards the end of Season 2. They've taken Ricciardo from McLaren. They've also taken Kevin Magnussen from Haas. And so the American outfit looking to make a big name for themselves straight out the gate here in Formula 1. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to get that car that was the previously AlphaTauri car further up the grid as the season goes on and get themselves towards the front where they'll be wanting to look. Now, Haas have retained their McDonald's sponsorship, and to replace the outgoing Kevin Magnussen, they've actually taken Yuki Tsunoda, who was kicked out from the Ford Performance team once they took over AlphaTauri, and so he's found his new home there at Haas, alongside Mick Schumacher, who has been retained for a third season at the team. Not much to report changing going on here. They were nearly towards the bottom of the grid by the end of Season 2, so it'll be interesting to see if Tsunoda, some younger, fresher blood coming into the team, will be able to help propel those guys forward. And heading into Williams, our former team now, they have gone all out with the BWT sponsorship heading into this one. I guess after our pretty decent performance in Season 2, BWT extending their partnership and actually probably even giving in more money to Williams now to get a full pink livery. And Williams have kept Albon, but they've also got Carlos Sainz, who has left Ferrari after Ferrari just weren't very happy with how Season 2 played out for the Spaniard, and so he now moves to Williams. It'll be interesting to see how he's able to do, once again finding himself in the midfield in Formula 1. And so who has replaced Carlos Sainz at Ferrari but the one and only Fernando Alonso, making his return to the Italian team at Maranello to partner up with Charles Leclerc and to try his luck at potentially winning a world championship with Ferrari this time out, going for his third world championship. It will be so interesting to see the dynamic between Leclerc and Alonso, as well as Alonso's sort of how he goes with the team after having left them in the past and now returning for Season 3 of this career mode. Red Bull have also had a change in driver lineup heading into Season 3, and it is going to be Max Verstappen retained at the team, as well as Pierre Gasly getting his second shot at the Red Bull team. It'll be so good to see how he's able to do. He didn't have a most amazing Season 2, but clearly it was enough for Red Bull to say, hey, come back, get in the car, and we'll see how you can go, especially since Perez didn't have a great Season 2 either for the team, and so he has been pushed out of the Red Bull family and has had to find a seat somewhere else in the field. And that other team is Alpine. Perez partnering up with Esteban Ocon, who stays at the French outfit there, and so those two will be an interesting dynamic to watch, as well as Alpine. We're starting to show that they can be a front-running team if they just develop that car a little bit more, with 2 wins for them last time out in Season 2, which was very cool to see, and so it'll be interesting to see if those guys are able to continue that form or even improve on it heading into the 3rd season. And after Vettel's retirement, Aston Martin have decided to bring in Robert Schwartzman to give him his Formula 1 debut there, alongside Lance Stroll, who unsurprisingly has remained at the team. Aston Martin sort of became a bit of a backmarker in the second half of Season 2, and so it'll be nice to see them try and move themselves towards the front, or even just the midfield, really, in Season 3. And the final team to check in with will be Alfa Romeo, who are the only team in the field that retained both of their drivers heading into the 3rd season. It has been an insane, silly season heading into the 3rd season, and so Alfa Romeo looking for a bit of a stability there with keeping Nicholas Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou, and so it'll be nice to see if those guys are able to maybe move themselves a bit further up in the midfield, or even closing in towards the top teams heading into 3rd season. And so that wraps up our pre-season video here for Season 3 of our F1 22 Driver Career Mode. I hope you guys enjoyed and are looking forward to the 3rd season. A lot of work's gone into getting this one ready, and I just cannot wait to get started. So if you guys do want to see more of this in the future, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.